So I have I guess through my coverage, they asked me like my health care, they were like, "Hey, do you want us to send you like a nurse or whatever to just do a physical at your house?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." This lady starts doing my physical, right? And the next thing I know, she's like, "You're a handsome man." I'm like, "You gotta stop. You gotta get out of here with that. Do your job, lady."
Oh, did, was she good looking?
Nah, I mean, listen, she wasn't ugly, but I was just like, it's not the time right now.
Why not?
I don't know, bro. Listen, my aunt's around. I don't need my aunt seeing all this.
There's always
I
some
have I have
excuse.
some respect, you know.
There's
At
always
least
some excuse.
listen. It would call me off guard, bro. She's doing like
When
the what do you
when
call
when
that shit that they
the
wrap
blood
around your arm?
pressure? The blood
Yeah, she do
pressure?
my blood pressure. I'm like, you can't ask me that question. We do my blood
When
pressure.
does something not catch you off guard is the question.
Oh well, it's
Yeah.
always women that catch me off guard.
Yeah, we need yeah. I think you need to
Who's
look
listen? Who
into
the
that.
hell's interested in me, bro? I don't think.
I think you need to
Are you taken off guard when the sun rises every
yeah,
morning?
you need to look into all that.
Pastor, I'm not awake. I tell you, I guess I am. I go to sleep when the sun comes up, Pastor. So it's you know, it doesn't throw me off. That's like, you know,
And
that's my cue to go
you're
to.
astonished every morning.
No, no, that's just my cue to go to bed. I'm like, oh, the sun's up. Okay.
Okay.
Hey!
Welcome. Welcome to the No Name Yet podcast. That is the podcast with no name. And on tonight's show is the man that turned down a woman in the mall and a nurse practitioner in his house.
Damn.
EJ.
You can't be blowing my spot up like that. That's crazy.
And also on the show tonight is a man that everybody knows, the man who has canceled the apartment building Easter egg hunt 3 years in a row.
Going strong. 3 years strong.
Griddy.
Easter egg hunt is still canceled.
Those poor project kids.
Well, the junkies are really gonna get it because we were cracking the eggs. His kids weren't allowed at these Easter egg hunts.
Yep, everybody keeps acting up.
We're putting crack in the eggs.
Oh God.
Well, like I said, my neighbor's door almost got burned up the other day. So this is my thing. I will bring the Easter egg hunt back if his door goes up in flames. If you successfully burn down his door, the Easter egg hunt will be back. So there you go.
All comments made on the No Name Yet podcast are for entertainment purposes only.
That's right.
It's a joke, people.
It's a joke.
It's a prank, bro. It's just a prank.
Just a prank, dude.
EJ.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen this guy in like I don't know 3 weeks.
Yeah, man, EJ,
Not
it's good
from
to see
my
you.
own doing. Not from
EJ.
my own doing, by the way. I called him about 8 times.
Sorry.
You been what?
I've been busy doing nothing.
Busy doing nothing. Let's rewind though. When we were coming down to Myrtle Beach, and when we were being absolutely harassed on the road, I'm sitting around just enjoying the ride because I like to drive around and ride around, do road trips. And my phone is going off. Where are you, man? Where are you, dude? What road are you on? What stop are you on? What exit are you getting off at?
Well,
Where
that's
are you, man?
different, bro. Like, you know, I'm
Relentlessly,
hyped. I'm excited because my homies are pulling out.
relentlessly calling. And as
Well,
soon as we get down there, he gets a taste of what it's like to really do a vacation. My man is done. The last day, him and Cheryl were making excuses. So Cheryl had to throw in the towel for him on the last day. Don't make Pastor drive. Like, yeah, okay. What an excuse. What an excuse. My man could not handle.
What, bro? To be fair, Pastor does all the driving, bro. You tell me he doesn't need a break every once in a while?
I always do all the driving.
But let him speak for himself.
Yeah.
Well, he's too nice. He's too nice to say no.
But I want to go do these things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is what we wanted to do. This is what he wanted to do. This is what I want to do. We were in conjunction. We discussed everything before we left the hotel. So you don't need to interject into our plans. You were a part of them, but you can't manipulate
I
them.
to interject if I'm a part of them and nobody tells me what the plans are. Tell I'm already.
The last day, my man had I can't do it anymore. Cheryl, please tell him to go home. Please tell him to leave. Please tell him to leave. Then
You
when
know
we
what the
get
fucked up
back,
part is this is not the first time I use Cheryl to get out of shit.
of course.
Bro, if someone asks me something and like I don't want to say no, I'll be like, let me run it by Cheryl real quick.
And then when we get back, I call him. No answer, no answer, no answer, no answer. I let you harass me for at least 2 months. And now you're tired of us. You don't want to answer your phone. We'll see what happens next time. We'll see what happens next time you get a bug and you want to call us off the hook next time. We'll see if I'm receptive next time. Don't even worry
You
about
gotta
it.
understand. I was blowing your shit up because
Don't
you were
worry
coming
about it.
over, bro. You were
We
driving
will
down here.
see.
So what happened to you? Did you
What
sleep for a
happened
week?
to you? Are you okay?
Did
I
you
don't
sleep
know.
for a week
I
after
just
we
don't
left?
know, man.
Now, everybody listening, right? Imagine your friends said, "Hey, we're gonna come. We haven't seen you in like 2 years or a year. We're gonna come by. We're gonna pick you up every day to have fun for free. You literally don't have to. You don't even do anything. You just I'm gonna pick you up, and we're gonna go have fun. We're gonna do. We're not gonna go like do our taxes or like we're not gonna go like clean a building. We're gonna go pick you up to have fun for free." He is probably the only person that would not want that. It was a chore. It was a chore to roll out of the house. It was too much. So what
Listen,
happened to you? When did you
you're dealing with somebody that never leaves the house,
when did the
bro. Like
mental descent begin? What
leaving the
day?
house for 5 days in a row is exhausting.
What
Okay,
day?
and you
What day
never
did the
leave.
mental descent begin? When did you really get tired of us?
Well, I wouldn't say I got tired of you guys, but like
Yeah,
my
okay.
body was tired of
My
moving. Like,
body
definitely
was
on
tired
Friday.
of
Like definitely
moving.
by Friday, I was like, I don't
This
want
is
to
the
do nothing
problem with
anymore.
Americans. This is the problem with Americans here. Okay,
Yeah, we're fat and
Eddie saying
lazy.
this, and then I couldn't believe it when Pastor said this. We were like on, I don't know, day 4 of vacation, and Pastor was like, "Hey, we're getting some pretty good exercise, huh?" I said, "Are we? What did we
Yes,
do?
I agree with you 100%,
What
man.
did we
It
do?"
was a lot of exercise.
I was like, "We sat in go-karts, sat in the car, sat at restaurants, went in the pool, like."
That's
Where was the
that's
I
exercise?
walked up
exercise,
and down
bro.
the boardwalk a few times. I mean, the go-karts, you had to put a little muscle into the go-kart.
That was the only I wouldn't call it exercise, but it was
Yeah,
definitely a little tiring.
yeah. I don't know. I just felt that we were active. We didn't
That's
sit
a good word.
around.
That's a good word. Act. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say we weren't. Our
And
heart rate wasn't
and
really elevated at any point
and
of the
No.
and
trip.
and as
Only
somebody
time
that's
my heart was
never
elevated was when we went to NHOP and we saw those $40 waffles. Then my heart rate
Yeah.
was up like crazy.
Yeah.
My shit was beating. I was like, "Come on, man."
Yeah. Note to the audience: if you travel to Myrtle Beach and you say, "Oh, the National, not the International, the National House of Pancakes looks good," we don't recommend it.
Do not go.
Not unless you like to pay $20 for a waffle.
Yeah, or 40
for
if you want
one.
the red velvet. That one's like 30
Yeah,
bucks or
that's
some
true.
shit like
Yeah.
It
that.
wasn't even like you get like two waffles. It's one waffle for 20 bucks.
No, no, one waffle. And the eggs were. I've never had eggs that are like outside before in my life. I've had hotel eggs better than that. I will eat
Damn.
any hotel breakfast egg over that egg. That was a horrible egg. They cooked it in literal like I don't even know what kind of oil they used. Oil.
And you need to be a big fan of reggae.
Oh yeah, Bob Marley, Damian Marley, I don't know, Elephant Man. It was all over the radio. I was like, this is not my breakfast kind of music. This is like, this is nighttime music. Not for
Yeah.
me.
So did
They
you
should have played
enjoy
that.
the go-karts, EJ?
Oh, that was the best. That was my favorite part, honestly.
Because you were getting the hang of it. You were
I was
getting
doing good. Yeah, I
competitive.
was a little, there were mistakes were made in the beginning, but I think we got a hang of it eventually.
Mhm.
Going the wrong way here and there.
Well, that wasn't even we. That was me. That was all me right there.
Well, I'm just so glad it happened.
Yeah, that was so fun. And they just couldn't let us go. Like we were gonna
Yeah.
like the track was gonna explode if we did
There
another
was
lap.
nobody else there either. It's not like we could crash into other people going the right way. It was all
Right.
of
Yeah.
us were going the wrong way.
Right.
Good times, though. Good times. Those people
Ridiculous.
probably hated their job that day.
So what have you been doing since we left?
Literally nothing.
Not a thing.
Not a thing, bro. Just existing.
Fascinating. Wow. The riveting stuff. Riveting question, Pastor. You already knew what you were gonna get with that one.
Well, I knew it.
Yeah.
So, so I asked everybody to please watch a movie.
That's right. Civil War.
Civil War
By
released
A24.
Released this month, the beginning of this month.
By the studio A24, who also released what was that movie called? Why is it blanket? Talk to Me. Beautiful movie.
Oh, okay. All right.
Same studio.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to know what you think. Griddy, why don't you go first?
Well, I saw the trailer and I said this movie looks interesting. I guess it wasn't interesting enough for me to see it on my own volition because you were the catalyst to me actually watching it. I said, oh, maybe I'll watch it when it comes on demand or something like that. But I said it looked good. So I sit and watch and I think, okay, it's just gonna be from the perspective of, they're probably gonna show both sides of this, whatever war is going on, whatever states are at war, East Coast versus West Coast, whatever. And it's gonna be like they're gonna show the soldiers and their family. And I was happily mistaken. That was not what this movie was about. It was about the Civil War, yes, but I enjoyed the perspective that they wrote this from the perspective of the journalists. And there was an array of journalists. There was like a real young one. She's probably like 21, 22 maybe,
Yeah.
right? And then they had the middle-aged journalists who were just kind of doing their thing, and then the older guy, and everybody had their own thing going on. One of them was struggling with all the stuff she's seen over the years, and she was maybe on her last straw at this point. And one of the guys was kind of a little too old for the job, and the young one had just like her first time doing this, so she's freaking out and everything like that. So I enjoyed the perspective and I enjoyed the story. They really didn't dwell on the Civil War itself at all. They didn't say how it started. Not that I remember. I don't remember how it started or anything like that.
Can I just interject? I believe you're right because I just finished watching the movie today and they did not mention how it started.
Nope.
I like lore. I want to know why this popped off, man.
I did not even care.
So you didn't like it, EJ?
Whoa!
Wait,
come on! What are you doing? Relax.
I was just interjecting that he was.
I know. Okay. Yeah,
I was just interjecting that he's
trying to get people to bounce off of one another.
We ain't bouncing. Okay. We ain't bouncing. You got a whole hour. Relax. You guys trying to bury the lead here. Everybody, calm down. I like the story. I like the perspective. Although there was a little more of the journalists running around in the actual war, I still think they did a good job with the war scenes they did put in and the battle scenes they did put in. And I would say, to me, at least, there wasn't a lot of wasted motion in this movie, and there was a lot of tension to me. The scenes that they did, sometimes it was a little tension, like when they found that car trailing them, or if it was some real serious, like the Winter Wonderland and the Where Are You From scenes. Like there was some real tension pretty much all over this movie. The girls having flashbacks. If they're not really in war, they're having flashbacks about war. So I really enjoyed the tension and the balance between the war and the actual story itself. And if you're watching this movie like there's not enough war for me, wait till the end. It really pops off at the end. It looked like a Call of Duty game. It reminded me, I think it was Modern Warfare 1 or 2, where you're at the White House. Eddie, did you play that one?
I was literally thinking that same thing, like just like hearing them talk, like mag out,
yeah, you're in because at the end of
Call of Duty game.
At the end of Modern Warfare 2, I think you're at the White House, right?
I don't remember, bro.
I think it's that one. It's Modern Warfare 1 or 2. So some standout scenes to me were the gas station scene. It was, where you found the guys. I'm not going to give any spoilers on my review. Where you found the guys. The Winter Wonderland scene was good, and the car chase scene and the Where Are You From scene, which is the scene that they show in the trailer the most, was phenomenal. That was a phenomenal scene. I mean, I'd never say this. I never use this cliche. I was at the edge of my seat almost the whole movie. Just when you feel like things got down, they were like, yeah, they went right back up. I mean, and every time they just hit me with something new. I thought the ending was insane. I thought it was crazy. It couldn't have ended better for me. And I mean, I gotta say, this is probably a 5 out of 5. Another 5 out of 5 A24. I thought it was great, man. If it ain't a 5, it's damn near close.
Mm-hmm.
This was a fucking phenomenal movie to me. I was so glad you made me watch this. This is maybe the best movie of the year so far.
All right.
Phenomenal. Now
I will
EJ's
have
about to.
EJ, who tipped his hand as he was coming into the Zoom meeting.
Oh yeah, is
Okay. So I think the best scene is right in the beginning of the movie with when the president's giving his speech and he's fumbling. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Joe.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Except he didn't talk about ice cream.
But I hated the movie. I thought it
I
was
can't believe.
boring. I thought it was like everything you said, I feel the complete opposite way, bro.
My God.
You love the journalistic scenes. I hated it. That was so boring. It was a struggle for me. I'm not
I
gonna
can't.
lie.
I
It
can't. I
took
can't
me.
even fathom how you like this.
It took me. I watched half of it yesterday and the other half right before I got in here.
Oh my god, bro.
And
Oh my god.
bro, it was a drag. At least, all right. So at least for the first half, that first half I watched yesterday was boring, except for that one scene with the gas station. That was all right, but
Did anybody else think
overall,
something? Let me just interject. Did anybody else think something else was gonna happen in that scene? Something real crazy?
I thought they were
When
all
I
gonna die.
when I saw
I,
the guy following her, I was like, "What is he about to do?"
yeah.
I
Oh,
thought it was
that
about to
scene,
get.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
thought
thought
he
it
was
was
about to get crazy up in there.
that movie was about to get
I thought it was gonna
canceled.
be, a little bit of a war crime going on, but that's just me. When I saw him following her to the barn, I was like, "Oh no, this is gonna get bad," and then it just
Mhm.
totally went a different way.
Right.
I don't know if they meant it like that, but that's how it came off to me at first. They made it seem like, like, oh, he shouldn't be following it. Like, what's going on?
Well, like you said, you were on the edge of your seat. They did a lot of things to inspire suspense.
Yeah.
You know, and
And sometimes it was like it amounted to be basically nothing. And sometimes it was like, whoa, that was crazy.
And
mhm.
I don't know who you guys' favorite character is, but I like the old man.
It's
Yeah, he was a
between
good character.
it's between the old man and the younger journalist. She was a really good actress. I mean, they were all good actors to me.
Yeah.
But she seemed like she did a good job of looking rattled.
Okay, so I
I
didn't
liked
understand.
I liked
I didn't.
Lee, who was the
She was
lead.
really good, especially at the end when she's
Yeah.
like had it already.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't expect that.
so I have a question, right? Why? And when you brought up the scene when they were getting chased by the car, right? Spoiler warning. It's not bad. It turns out that it's like a one of the dude's friends or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Why were they switching cars? Why were they crawling through windows?
I
What
think it
was
was
that
just
about?
like, hey, we have nothing to do. We're bored. Let's just
No,
fuck
bro, that scene
around.
made no sense to me. And then the young journalist, the young chick, was like, "Oh, I'm doing it too." I'm like, "Why? Why are you?"
I think it's just
I
like
don't
for the thrill. I
understand.
thought it was for the thrill.
Well, a lot of what they're doing as these wartime photojournalists is running on adrenaline.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was just showing that part of their personality, or and actually, because they're running on adrenaline so much, their physiology, that they're going to do things like that to keep
Mm-hmm.
that adrenaline going.
Especially the
I
dude that
don't.
we're not even
I don't
talking
think you
about.
need
He
to.
was like the most into that. The
I don't
guy,
think you
Lee's
need to crawl
partner.
through a car window while you're moving to you know what I mean? Like, once you get to the war, you'll have all the adrenaline you
It
need.
looked fun to me. I would try that. It
Yeah,
looked fun.
I just that's just the way I took it when I was watching it. That
Yeah, I didn't think it was
you
anything
know,
serious. It just was something to do for fun.
I think it was just a look into their personalities.
And the dude,
That
what was the dude's name? What was Lee's partner's name? You remember him?
I don't even remember his name,
Well,
man.
anyway, Lee's
Yeah,
partner.
I've got all the character names here. Let me
It
look.
doesn't even. But Lee's
Joel.
partner, Joe. I was gonna say Jason or some shit.
Yeah.
He was like up. He was like the most into that adrenaline stuff because you see when they're like in the middle of battle, I mean, he's loving it. He's loving to see people getting shot. He is in love with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
especially the scene at night. Remember there? It's like they're
Yeah,
chilling
he's like, "Come
outside at
on, let's
night,
go." And
and
they're
like
like,
you can see all the lights, and you hear the gunfire in the distance. He's like, "Can we go?"
yeah, he was
They're
loving
like,
that,
"No,
man.
bro, we're not going there at night." He's like,
Now,
"Come
is
on,
that
man."
real? Do they really have people do that? I never heard of a
Yeah,
wartime
no,
journalist
yeah,
that are really with the like in the middle of the battle like that. I've never
yeah,
oh
seen
no,
that.
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, it's a real
They
thing.
Wow.
because in Iraq, the second Iraq war, they embedded more journalists. So they report there was an effort to have them capture things that the U.S. government wanted them to capture, then as opposed to the journalists in this movie that are moving about basically where they want to go.
Right. I mean, well, I think the one of the best parts of the movie to me was the actual like the kickoff story was why they're what they're about to do is that the journalists want to go to the White House to interview the president, but the only problem is that the United States government is just killing journalists.
Yeah.
Like if they see a journalist by the White House, they're killing them. And the journalists that we follow in the movie are like, we don't care. We're gonna go anyway. We're gonna go and we want to interview the president. So I thought that was really cool. That's just in the story. You know, it was like simple. Yeah. That's it. It wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't like it wasn't to me. It wasn't too cliche. I never heard of a story like that. Like we're gonna go and interview the president even though we're gonna get killed.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was cool. And I'm not gonna say what this is, but the foreshadowing between Lee and the younger journalist when she asked her that question. You know what I'm talking about? Where she said, if such and such happens, would you do such and such?
Yeah.
That was like, oh no, that's it. It's gonna go down.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna go down. I think they did a real good job with that one.
They did.
If such and such happens.
Yeah, I don't want to say what it is because that one's a good. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I thought it was an excellent movie, and knowing that. I did read. I didn't realize it was the same company that did Talk to Me, but I did read that the company specializes in lower budget films.
Didn't look like one.
That's what I'm saying. See, that's the thing. I'll admit. Like, I didn't really like the movie, but it looked good. To me, it was a little boring, but like every scene, like it did look good.
They made a movie, and that's what I liked about it is they made a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you were looking at well, let me back up. The fact that they made the Civil War so vague, I thought was excellent because part of what they were trying to is they wanted to put a lens on the horror of war.
Right.
What would it be like if this country descended into civil war? It would be an absolute horror, and they depicted that extremely well, and depicted that without the trappings of taking one side or another side or another side or another side. They made it vague enough that the president could have been a Republican or a Democrat.
You didn't know,
and that. Two states that are ideologically opposed to one another, California and Texas, constituted the Western forces. So we don't know what transpired to get California and Texas working together, but they were.
Yeah, that was wild. I think
another favorite part of the movie for me is when they were talking about how Florida is trying to recruit other states, and they're like, yeah, so Florida tried to recruit the Carolinas, and they said no. I was like, that's right, we would never join garbage ass Florida. That's right. Florida.
But as far as the cinematography of the movie, when you really and I started picking it up and watching more closely, so many of the scenes were filmed like photographs. And then then photographs were interwoven and edited in such a expertise way.
It was great. That editing was great.
It was, it was a cinematic masterpiece.
I'll give it a 3.5.
Now you went from hating it to giving it like a middle of the scale now, or are you doing this at a 10? Or which one are you doing it, a 5 or a 10?
Well, I guess if it's a 10, like, all right, so if I do a 5, then I guess I got to give it a 2 then.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I'm not, now you're going 3.5. That's like a good movie rating right there. Yeah. And you didn't even like it.
It looks good, but I thought it was boring.
It was, I can't believe that. And I can't think of a movie. I can't think of a movie lately that I've had as much empathy for the characters in the movie.
Yeah, I didn't hate anybody. Like anybody that you followed, I didn't like, usually like, okay, this guy's a total douche and they try to make him look good and He sucks.
I didn't really like Joel, but I understood Joel.
Okay.
I
like them all.
And I didn't dislike him. I didn't dislike him, but
I like them all.
If I was in the group, I would probably be hanging out more with Sammy and Lee.
Okay.
And I don't know if that was an age thing for me or what, but and what was the young woman's name again? Jessie.
Right.
Jessie was a great character and a phenomenal actress.
Yeah. Oh man, when she fell in the pit,
yeah,
I was like, yeah. That was just the way they shot it. Everything was just great. That was horrifying. That was like the most horrifying shot of the movie.
I think that was the pinnacle of the cinematography.
It looked like hell. It looked like if you were to draw hell. That's what it would look like. It was horrible. That was insane.
So I'm with you, Griddy. I give this like a 4.9, possible 5.
Shit.
That's the two scores I was in between. I was like, it's got to be a 4.9 or a 5.
Yeah.
And I can't think of anything wrong with it. I mean, but when it was leading up to the end, I was like, there could be some more war here. But then the end was like, wham. And they didn't just, it wasn't like they just did it for like 2 seconds. It was a pretty good war scene. I mean, they had helicopters, tanks, mortars, everything, bro. People were flying around. They were in the White House. Secret Service was shooting at the WF. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
So once I saw the ending, I said, this is a 5. This is a 5. You got to see it. I'm so glad you made me watch this.
Amen.
I don't know if I would have seen it. I mean, I thought it looked good, but I was like, it might just fall through the cracks.
Right. Yeah. And I didn't, it was completely what I was not expecting.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be something different.
And in our political climate right now, the choices they made with making it apolitical.
Yep.
It was one of the most responsible decisions I've ever seen a filmmaker make.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
That was the best move. Don't try and make any side look better than the other.
Yeah.
I still would have liked to know how it started, though.
Well,
I could see their perspective.
Yeah. I kind of had a curiosity.
I literally do not care
for it too. But it did, by the end, and especially the way it ended. Yeah, I thought the ending was just extremely appropriate.
Appropriate's a good word for it.
Yeah. And I did hear somebody complain about the ending in that why wasn't the president perhaps in a more secure location?
Right.
But at that point,
where else could he go?
Everything was unraveling.
Mm-hmm.
And if he hadn't gone off site by then he probably got pinned down, Yeah.
I had no complaints. I was Googling to see if any of the the left media were upset about this movie, and they weren't. I was shocked. I thought there would be an uproar about this, just about its existence, but I'm pleasantly surprised, and I'm very proud of them. I'm very proud of you guys for not losing your shit.
Where are you from? Hong Kong. What are you, stupid? Why would you say that?
Yeah, that was great.
That was the biggest mistake that guy ever made.
I would have said, if I was in that situation, I would have
repeated one of their answers. Like,
that's what I would have said. Whoever didn't get shot, I would have repeated their answer. The guy that didn't get shot, I would be like, "Oh, I'm from where he's from."
I'm actually from the same town. We just don't know each other. But that's where I'm from.
I'm from there. Or I would have said where we're at right now. Yeah, I'm from here. That's probably where they're from.
Yeah.
Yeah. What state was it that was still pristine? Was that Philadelphia? Remember when they went to the town and it still looked like nothing happened there?
I'm not sure what state they were in, because I think that happened. I think that happened after they.
Not Philly. I think it was Pittsburgh, because the scene before they got there, it said "Go Steelers" on the bridge.
Oh, that was the scene right before there?
I think so. So
okay,
it looked like that's where they were going.
Near Pittsburgh.
It had to be Pittsburgh, yeah.
Yeah.
You talking about the scene where the ladies
They
like,
go
let
in
me
the
see your
store.
IDs and.
No, they go in the store.
Oh, okay.
But they go in the store and everything is. It looked like perfect. Like the town was dead, like desolate, but it still looked. Everything was not in shambles. It didn't look war torn at all. But there were snipers on the roof. I
Yes.
couldn't remember. Okay.
That's why, they're wondering why is this town like this?
Okay.
And then when they get out of the store,
Yeah. Okay.
then one of them says, "Look up."
Yeah.
And there were snipers on the roof. And so I don't know. I came to the conclusion that the
Peacekeepers.
peace on the street was enforced.
Yeah. And that was good. That was a fun scene. Yeah, I didn't think there was too much wasted motion.
No.
I didn't think the whole movie was wasted motion.
Listen. The first half of the movie was wasted motion.
Nah, bro, you wild for that. You wild.
Bro, there were so many scenes where nothing was happening. They're like talking about nonsense. I'm like, bro, who cares? Like, give me some lore about the bat. I want to know about the war. Who started it? Why the president talking this hot garbage? I don't care about you trying on a dress, girl. I don't care.
That is so not true. It was just like that. That was a moment of levity in a horrific situation.
Listen,
That's
I
the
get
point
it.
of the
They need
scene.
some downtime in this horrible situation, but I don't care. I don't want to see the downtime.
Wow.
Oh, well, as a viewer, I appreciated the downtime.
It wasn't just downtime for you. It was downtime for the viewer because you just seen all this shit happen, and now you're seeing them in like a more human, just like kind of regular state, and they're just like kind of happy and chill. It was done well.
Listen, bro. I understand what you're saying, but I didn't need downtime. I wanted to see more stuff. I wanted more information.
Says the guy that watches an anime where one episode will be them walking through the forest.
Hey, they got to get where they're going.
Exactly.
But at least they're dropping lore and at least they're explaining what's going on. Okay.
Walking through the damn forest.
Not just small talk about, hey, that's a nice camera set you got. Oh yeah, my dad got it for me. Like, who cares, bro?
All building.
Who cares, bro?
All building. It was nice. That was a nice scene.
Well, I thought we'd take a look at some news.
Great.
Okay.
And comment on it.
Is there any civil wars going on? Should we be worried?
No civil wars. It's just this is the Redacted newsletter. And Redacted is an independent news show that can be seen on several platforms. I know that it's a husband and wife team, and that the husband worked for Fox News at one point. And as politics has evolved over the past few years, you find that conservatives and liberals, or people on the right and people on the left, without attaching conservative liberal tags, tend to agree with each other on certain topics. One of which, a big one, is war. That the American public is tired of war, and you would think otherwise by watching the mainstream media, but it is what it is. So I just thought I would just go through. They're always short. They're just identifying things that are going on, and just get your reaction.
I wouldn't say I'm tired of war, but I would say I'm tired of us fighting other people's wars.
That's good.
What does that mean?
Listen, if we had to go to war for ourselves, I wouldn't mind. But I'm tired of us having to defend other people. Like, where are they?
Okay, all right.
Some backup.
Well, the one thing that it seems that our leaders forget when they talk about our national security is that we have an ocean on the east and an ocean on the west, an ally to the north and an ally to the south.
Well, who's on the south? Mexico?
Yeah.
They let people come over for free. What are you talking about?
Well, I think there's a lot of people who have a hand in letting people come over. So
that's what I'm saying. So if we get invaded, it'll be from Mexico because they'll pay Mexico off. Let us use your roads. Here's some money.
All right. Okay. the foreign policy expert with the
Always,
marijuana
always.
T-shirt.
And
With the
Canada's soft.
addicted
You know
T-shirt.
what? Canada won't defend it either. They'll just let people go because they don't want to fight. They're scared.
No, that's true. That's true.
I'm just spitting facts right now. Look, Google it. Ask Canada. They'll
They're
tell
letting
you they don't
people.
want to
They're letting
fight.
people just take their cars now. They told people that one of the sheriffs or whatever they call over there, police chiefs told people to leave their keys outside their
The
door so people
Mounties.
could just steal their car. They're like, oh, leave your key outside your house so people don't break in. They're only looking for your car. Yeah, how do you know that? How do you know that?
Because it's him. He's stealing cars.
I mean, when you hear things like that, and you hear other people talk about the World Economic Forum that want us to live in these 15-minute cities and that will own nothing. Like we won't own cars, we won't own the places that we live. It just feels like they're trying to prepare us for that kind of life. You know, the only people who own things are the rich.
Right. That'd be perfect for them. Yeah.
We'll be eating crickets while they continue eating steak.
Right. And if
No,
anything
no.
happens, we won't be able to
They'll
do
give us the
anything.
fake meat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll get
The
that. We'll get the Bill
laboratory
Gates.
meat.
We'll get the Gates meat.
And I just realized I forgot to check in with the background. So here we have the different world leaders, specifically my president and my congressional representatives. Are we still at war? Yes. Are people still dying? Yes. Yeah. All right. Nothing's changed since last week.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? So you know it's bad when they've even lost Dr. Phil.
What did he say?
Dr. Phil isn't buying the COVID narrative any longer.
Oh, 5 years later, bro. I mean,
admitting
with it.
That COVID policy was not based on science is no longer conspiracy. It is uncomfortable, but easy to find. They knew better, he said on a recent episode of his show, referring to health and public policy experts. In fact, a lot of data shows that they did, explaining that he's not some conspiracy theorist. Dr. Phil noted, I'm saying we need to think about whether we're going to rely on science and how we're going to react when the government comes in and starts telling us what we can and can't do. For instance, on masks, we sent children to school in sports in masks for days on end and pretended we didn't know they were toxic.
Can I say this? Can I say this?
Yes.
One of the dumbest things I've ever seen in COVID was I was watching something on YouTube and I saw like high school wrestling and the two kids were wrestling with COVID masks. Like that's the only way they could have contracted. Like they're groping each other.
Yeah,
with sweat. They're all over each other, but don't worry, the mask, that's gonna do it. That'll be the old trick, the mask trick. This paper thin mask. It wasn't like they had like Bane mask. It was steel.
Full head gas mask.
I was like, why do they
like a Darth Vader
wrestling
helmet?
with the masks on? Like how? Like they had to be laughing at that. Like whoever implemented that had to be laughing at that. I mean, there was the incident with the hot mic. I forgot what two politicians were there where the guy they didn't know the mic was on, and they were just basically clowning everybody for wearing the mask. They're like, huh, "You got your mask on?" They're like, "Yeah, sure, buddy," and they didn't know the mic was on. I mean, that whole thing was a joke.
Me and you
joke.
On that team, right?
I was not about any of that.
Well, all I gotta say is, how easy was it to knock somebody's headgear off? I can only imagine with those frail
the
little
masks.
rings around
Forget
your
about
ears.
it.
Like they would rip off in a second.
And then anytime it fell off, it would. You gotta put your mask back on. Put your mask on. Serious? I remember one time I walked around. I was somewhere and I didn't have my mask on. I mean, somebody looked at me like I was the devil. Like I had like they looked at me like I had just like kicked their baby across the street. They were like, I was like, bitch, you got yours on, right? Turn around, walk away. Enough.
So did you know that the masks were toxic?
No.
I didn't know about that up front. I heard about that like way later.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know they were toxic.
Of course, they got all these. I mean, they got chemicals on it. Like,
I still wear masks sometimes at the hospital.
Right. I'm not saying there's not a time and place.
That's fine. You're at the hospital.
Yeah. There's not a. Not saying there's not a time and place for a mask.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I mean,
acceptable.
they do it in Japan when you don't want to get somebody. I mean, not saying like that, but no, they were acting like it was the silver bullet.
Yeah,
like, you were gonna get it, bro. You were gonna get it. You were gonna get it.
Now this is a big one here. Another example is natural immunity. We knew that previous exposure to a virus increases immunity to it. We just pretended we didn't.
Yeah, there was all of a sudden there was no such thing as herd immunity, like out of nowhere.
Well, in natural immunity, I mean, I learned that in high school biology. In junior high health. And they were telling us that there's no natural immunity if you get COVID. And I'm like, how can that be? And when I would ask people would look at me like, I feel so sorry for you.
You didn't take your Fauci. You didn't take your Fauci pill this morning.
Yeah. People actually looked at me with pity.
You got to eat your
I was
Faucios.
asking the question. Pity.
I don't remember what.
Absolute pity.
My favorite genre of video, or one of them, is also like the politician videos where they like, they'll show like AOC, and one of her running points, she'll be like, I love gay marriage. Not saying she said this, but let's just say she did. Like, oh, I love gay marriage, and like they'll fast forward to like present day. She'll be like, oh, I don't like gay marriage, whatever like that. they did one like that with Fauci, where he was like, when everything popped off, everybody needs to stay inside and put your mask on, and then fast forward now, I never said any of that. We said you could do whatever you want. I was never saying any of that. And we were like, bitch, what? People were getting kicked out of places. Are you crazy?
There's literally footage of you saying it. How can you deny it?
You don't remember when New York City had a curfew? Like, bruh, are you fucking for real?
To be fair, I don't remember that, but I also never left the house, so that
bruh, like they were on all that protocol back in the day. The curfew might have been for the riots. I'm not sure. That might have been for the riots, but basically, he had said X, Y, and Z. And then all of a sudden, now he's saying A, B, and C 5 years later. I never said that. We recommended things. We never forced anybody. But then, the articles were like, oh, if you don't get your COVID shot, then you're out of a job. We never forced it on anybody.
That's true,
well, tell that to the nurses who won the big lawsuit. Now they're getting a bunch of money because they got fired because they didn't want to take the COVID shot. We didn't force anybody.
And all the nurses that left New York State because of the mandate are not coming back.
What word did you just use?
The mandate.
That's right, the big M word. We didn't. Yeah. There was no mandate.
Even Clay had to get one. I remember. I was living with him at the time, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta go get the shot, so they're not gonna let me come to work." I'm like, "That's crazy, bro."
My man was so hyped. My man acted like that was like a Supreme jacket. I remember when he called me after he got the shot. I was like, "I just got the shot." I was like,
"Well, he's hyped because he could go."
He was excited. He was excited.
He's like, "I'm not losing my job, bro."
I'm act like he just got a pair of Jordans, like one of one.
So here's another story. Western sanctions have not hurt Russia. According to the Washington-based International Monetary Fund, IMF, in fact, the IMF has raised its forecast for the Russian economy, saying it is expected to grow by 3.2% this year. That is even higher than the Russian economy ministry expects of itself, which is 2.3. The economy grew by 3.5 last year. Isn't that funny? Not funny. That the World Economic Forum predicted that the Russian economy would decline by 6% in 2023. Given that the sanctions have only acted as a boomerang to hurt the countries that imposed them on Russia, you would think that policy leaders would rethink the idea of putting them on Iran now, right? You would think that, but you would be wrong. The White House says this is about new sanction plans. In the coming days, the United States will impose new sanctions targeting Iran, including its missile and drone program, as well as new sanctions against entities supporting the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and Iran's defense ministry. What are you doing?
Playing the Russian national anthem. Everybody's excited. Everybody's happy. So they thought like, oh, so we're gonna take away Starbucks. They're gonna collapse. Like, oh, we're gonna take away. You guys aren't gonna get your McDonald's. What are you gonna do? They were like, okay, great, like, awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, we're really scared right now. We're so scared. We can't get McDonald's. And I think half of them just ended up staying anyway, even though they were like, we're not gonna. Even though they're like, we're outraged by this. We're gonna get out of here. Lickety split. And I think like half of them ended up staying.
Well, in some cases, the Russians just took them over.
Yeah, they weren't allowed to leave.
Instead of like Starbucks, it's like Star Coffee, or McDonald's is McRussia,
McPutin.
Bro, if that's
they're selling it, like nothing's changed.
Yeah, we really did damage, man. We really fucked them up.
The only thing that's changed is all that money is staying in Russia now.
Yeah, so now we get none of it.
Yeah,
great idea. That was awesome.
Brilliant, gentlemen, just brilliant.
They did fantastic.
It's just come to the point where that the United States has abused its economic power for so long that other countries have been, thinking about ways to get out of it, and it's starting to work.
Everybody's happy.
Our grasp
the rules up.
Slipping away.
2.5%. What was it? 25%.
So I'm not quite familiar with this woman, but you can tell me if you are.
Was it Sexy Red?
Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, she's the actress that everybody was like in love with.
Okay.
She was in you didn't watch that movie. You didn't watch Immaculate, right?
No.
Yeah, okay, she was in that.
All
she was in Euphoria.
All right, Sydney Sweeney is trending because some jealous Hollywood producer said that she is not pretty and that she can't act. The rep for the actress responded, how sad that a woman in a position to share her expertise and experience chooses instead to attack another woman. If that's what she's learned in her decades in the industry and feels it is appropriate to teach her students, that's shameful. To unjustly disparage a fellow female producer speaks volumes about Ms. Baum's character.
What's the name of the lady?
I guess her name is Baum. The last name is Baum. B-A-U-M.
Did it say her first name?
No.
So I saw this article. Okay, let me see if I can find it.
All right. So what I want to do is I want to show you this not pretty woman.
Okay, please show. But I was gonna do this anyway. Yeah,
I don't know who she is. So
show Sydney Sweeney and then show the woman critiquing it. Please, you gotta see that. Like you gotta see the contrast.
This isn't surprising that women talk about other women.
She is a mega hater. By the way, this woman is a mega hater. I'm not saying Sydney Sweeney is like the next. I don't even know like who like the next like big. I mean, but she is the next big actress, I guess. Like everybody loves her. She's not my favorite, but she's popping. She's pretty. She can act. I don't see where she's coming up with this here. She's wilding out. Wait till
I said, bro. Women hate on other women. This is natural.
It's in their DNA, right? That's what I literally said to somebody, to a woman. I said, "It's in your DNA to hate other women." It's okay,
bro. It's true, bro.
I don't hold it against you.
If it's me and a woman and another woman, I'm not gonna be the one talking. I'll tell you that.
It's gonna be the other, right? Hater. Yeah, she's sipping on some. You know, she has like two. She doesn't even. She's not even sipping on Haterade. She has one of those hats where you have two beer cans. It's two bottles of Haterade. She just sucking them dry. She has an
I
infinite
was gonna
supply
say
of Haterade.
she's doing a cake stand of
Bruh,
hater.
Sydney Sweeney's making bread. She's attractive. She's in one of the hottest shows ever in like the last 10 years. She's in Euphoria. Everybody loves that show. Um, and she's just getting movie deal after movie deal. She's
All
not.
right, there she is.
She just hosted SNL.
Okay,
Okay.
that's Sydney
That's Sydney
Sweeney.
Sweeney. Now
And
take a
here
look at this.
is Carol Baum.
Look at this masterpiece. Yeah,
There's Carol Baum.
Carol Baum.
If you look on the right side on the couch.
She is not.
That was her when. Was that her when she was younger?
Uh,
That picture on the left. Click on the images. Click on the images portion. No. Click on the word images. Yeah, click on that. Let's see. Let's get a good. Let's see. We got a young picture of this broad. She kind of reminds me of Edna Mole from what's that movie? Monsters Inc. She looks like Edna Mole a little bit. Look, yeah. Go down 1, 2, 3. Go down 3. Go down 3 pictures there.
Okay.
Go down 3 pictures of side by side of them two. Go down about 3 pictures.
Oh, okay, right here.
Look at that. Yeah, look at that. Okay, let's be real. Let's really get serious. Let's be honest.
Why would you even say that she's not pretty?
It's so untrue.
Bro.
It's so untrue. It's like even if Sydney Sweeney is not your type, she's still objectively pretty.
Yes. Yeah.
There's actresses that are not my type, but I'm like they're still pretty. I can't say they're not pretty.
I think her criticism would have been at least a little more valid if she would have.
Yeah, here's another one right there.
The only reason why she gets all this is because she's pretty.
Edna Baum, she must have been hot in her day to be talking. I gotta see a younger picture of her when she was Sydney Sweeney's age because she better have been smoking to be talking this because right now she's smoking crack.
Let's see, Carol Baum, young.
Let's see it when she's 27. Let's get a Carol Baum 27. Like, is there any of her younger?
Doesn't look like it.
Was she not popular?
Well, she may have been behind the scenes,
she's a gatekeeper?
as a producer all the time.
She's a gatekeeper.
Yeah,
and that's why she's mad. She couldn't stop Sydney Sweeney from popping off. She got that HBO money, girl. She don't need you. Wild.
Crazy.
Like, bruh.
Like I said, her criticism would have been a little more valid if she would have been like, "You only get these roles because you're pretty."
Imagine if I was on my show and I was like, "Man, you know who really is ugly and who can act? Leonardo DiCaprio. Somebody beat him with an ugly stick, and that guy has not made a good movie to save his life." I would look like the biggest retard in the world to say something like that. Like the guy is objectively a good-looking guy. He's made bangers. That would be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know who's really ugly? Anne Hathaway. She never made anything good. She sucks. Boo. Like, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right.
Okay, well, we're approaching the top of the hour. And so I have one more news story that I ran into. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is from the Financial Times.
Oh, that's my favorite publication.
I'm sure it is. And let me just I for some reason I want to share the graphic. I want to share the picture that is on the page. You see that there?
Okay.
CNN, right?
Who's that? Billy Corgan?
CNN. That's I think the guy who's running CNN now. So CNN chief executive Sir Mark Thompson.
Oh God, he's Sir.
Is working on plans for a digital subscription streaming service as part of a root and branch overhaul of the 24-hour cable network in the face of its existential challenge to its business. There are plenty of things we have to fix at CNN, said Thompson, who was last year appointed chief executive of the once pioneering broadcaster to turn around its fortunes. Basically, what Thompson is considering and perhaps laying the groundwork to do is to take CNN off of cable.
Where it should be. Well, that's a smart move.
The
online.
The time has come.
Now he's going all digital, and they're gonna pretend this is like a big move. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome.
I mean, for them, it's a big move.
Where are they supposed to go?
The internet, YouTube.
The tone of this article is just business. They're not doing well.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're not saying why they're going off here because the ratings are probably
the ratings are
horrendous. You wouldn't be taking your off cable if your ratings were good.
Right.
You would leave them there. So that's not they better not pretend it's like a big intrepid maneuver. We're really gonna be breaking ground. This is gonna be never before seen. We're gonna be doing something really fantastic here. No, you're bombing.
I'm not sure if I heard it from somebody talking about this article or in the article, but apparently MSNBC's audience has gone up 3 or 4%.
Right.
Fox's has gone up more than that, maybe 5-6%. CNN's has gone down, I think, 3 to 4%. And
LOL.
And all their ratings are pretty abysmal to begin with.
Can imagine.
A show like Jimmy Dore gets more viewers than CNN does each show.
Then Don Lemon.
Don Lemon of CNN.
Is he from CNN?
Well, he used to be before he was fired. Yeah.
Oh, okay. For what? Exposing himself or something like that?
I think it was misogyny.
Misogyny.
Yeah, he said.
Can we run the numbers? Did they start declining when they fired him?
They probably
they've been in
declining while he was there.
They've all been in decline since Trump went out of office.
I'm about to say, around.
Damn, are you saying that Trump makes the news?
They ain't got nothing to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, if they could rage against, why do you think they still rage against Trump? They have nothing else. They don't really want to report news. They just want ratings.
That'll be bad for them.
And they're not even sure how to do it anymore. So I wanted to save time that I finally got around to doing a taste test.
Right. Special taste test, but I actually wasn't the one doing the tasting.
So how can you say you did it?
He produced it.
I filmed the taste test.
You eating a gummy there?
Bubblicious watermelon.
Oh, you eating that? Okay. Eating a weed gummy?
My dog, Sally. And what she is going to taste test today is Jones Craft Soda. And this is turkey and gravy flavored beverage. This is, ladies and gentlemen, doggy soda. And there goes Sally doing that little cough that she does because she's elderly and ancient.
Your dog has alcohol.
I don't know if she's ever knew that there ever was soda before. You can tell how excited that she is. So let's see if she likes the soda. Here, Sally. Here. Here. You gonna try it? Sally, come on. What's here? Go ahead. Sally, do you want any of this? Come here. Look. Look, Sally. Look. Sally.
Get out of there. He does not want it.
Not enthused at all.
I didn't think it was going to be like that. I didn't think it was going to be.
Damn, Sally. He said, this son of a... Not a fan.
Bro, she took one whiff. She was like smelling it. And she's like, oh.
Gave it like 3 licks at best.
Yeah, I was shocked. I thought that she would like it. I left it. I left it there by her bed. So I'll let you know if she decides to drink it. Yeah.
The only way she would drink it is if she runs out of water and you don't fill her bowl back up. That's the only way I'll see her drinking it.
Still might not even do it.
Well, we end the episode the same way every time with a prayer. Father God, we thank you for this time together, and that God, we do ask a blessing on this country, and that God, we call for your presence, and that may a sense of peace, cooperation, and understanding fall on all of us, and that God, that no matter how much we disagree, that God, that let people who may think differently, who do think differently, stand together as Americans and support one another. We pray for this nation. We pray for this nation's people, and that God, we ask that you guide the leaders, and if they will not change and will not stop waging war, we ask that you help us find a way to put new leaders in, and that God, may all of us thrive, may all of our families thrive, and we pray this through Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Amen. Good night.
GN.